important?
I'm Lubna Masarwa, Palestinian from East Jerusalem. I'm living in East Jerusalem. I'm acting in Jerusalem against house demolition, and I'm working with the Free Gaza movement. I sailed to Gaza 3 times. I'm a board member of the movement. I came here to Honolulu to participate in a course for nonviolent resistance. I was very pleased and surprised that in this so far place in the world, you find this warm solidarity with Palestine. It's such really, it's so, I can't describe. I can't find the words to say. It's gave me a lot of hope when we living this hard life under occupation in East Jerusalem, in Gaza, in West Bank, and in Palestine 48. I hope that these people, all of the good people all over the world who standing with Palestine will be able to support the Palestinians to end 61 years of occupation, of injustice, of checkpoints, of wall, of hermetic siege in Gaza that blockaded the people behind walls, no access to medicine, to food, to life, to freedom.
Thank you very much. Anything else you want to convey out to the audience, Olelo Community Television?
I just really, I just want to say that I found so much in common with the Hawaiian people. And I could feel the place pain and the occupation in Hawaii by the Palestinians. I'm reading about the history of Hawaii, about the Queen, about the army industry. And it's amazing how people sometimes, I'm also, the place in the beach here reminding me of East Jerusalem, because when tourists coming to East Jerusalem, they can't see what there is behind the wall, what's really going in the place. And the same is here. People have no really idea what's the history of this amazing place.
It's sad to say that that people are not listening, evidently, and are too busy with their own particular lives that they can't see what's really going on throughout the world here.
Yeah, it's terrible how all the world are divided for people who have the money and the power and for people who are losing their states. And I see Palestine as part of a global situation in the world. Latin America, South Africa, Hawaii, it's the same story. And I think we should build a movement with all the little people all over the world who are suffering from the capitalism and from the colonialism. And I also believe that will be a day and the injustice will end. And we know that in the history. Every occupation, every darkness will end. The question is when and how. And this is our work, and this is that everybody should continue believe and trust himself that he can bring change to the world.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and thank you for coming. And
can I read something from a Hawaiian book to the people?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
It's from the book Hawaii's Story by Hawaii's Queen. I really loved this book, and I'm going to read a part, introduction by Glenn Grant that wrote David Malo. And I think it's universal for so many people, occupied people. If a big wave comes in, large fishes will come from the dark ocean, which you never saw before. And when they see the small fishes, they will eat them up. Such also is the case with large animals. They will prey on the smaller ones. The ships of the white men have come, and the smart people have arrived from the great countries, which you have never been before. They know our people are few in number and living in a small country. They will eat us up. Such has always been the case with large countries. The small ones have been glubbed up.
That's incredible. And what book is that now?
It's not a new book. I find it when I was trying to understand the place here and not as a tourist. It's Hawaii's story by Hawaii's queen. That's all.
Wow.
It's Hawaiian historian David Malu's 1837, and it's actually the first historian Hawaiian who write about the history of the place. And I wish everybody from this people sitting in the beach can read a little about the history of this place.
Well, it's interesting how so many of the things that have happened to the Hawaiian people, but in the Palestinian issue, it's such a brutality from our perspective, people like myself. So, but there is a lot of commonality between the Hawaiians and the Palestinian people.
Of course, in Palestine you're suffering from immediate violence.
Yes.
You're living all the time in checkpoints. You have 600 checkpoints. You have wall. Even if there is no case you walk and anybody want to stop you and ask you for IDs. Gaza, it's terrible, and I think that it's so hard even to wait for solution. We become so tired from the situation, from being class 10 in Palestine, and for being foreigners in our own land.
And that's one of the things that, for myself particularly, that I can feel the pain and suffering that the Palestinians have to endure constantly. And my admiration goes out to that they can still stand firm. And people like yourself that are so intellectual, they come here and share your intelligence. We appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, the Palestinian people really very stubborn.
Good.
And I think we saw that in Gaza. Nothing will break us. And today in East Jerusalem, we're suffering from a huge attack from the Israelis. There is a clear plans to demolish houses, to reduce population, settlements, evacuation. But we have to fight back. And to fight back in just even to stay in our lands, it's also a struggle for us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Here we are at the Kapi'olani Park again, and the activists are getting ready to march.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Occupation is a crime! Free Palestine!